Welcome to the Vision Gap Show. Align your big idea and vision with a plan of action to resonate and stand out in your market. With your hosts, Andy Halko and Tony Zayas.
All right, welcome to another episode here of the Vision Gap Show. Andy, how you doing? We're going to dive into campaigns here today a little bit, but I wanted to see what is the piece to campaigns that, working at an agency, we get these clients that come in and just want to dive in and say, yeah, go ahead and we want you guys to run some campaigns for us, SEO, pay-per-click, whatever it is. Let's step back for a second. Building off of what we've done, where do you see the campaign process beginning?
Well, I think that's a place that a lot of people make mistakes with marketing is that they dive in and they stay too broad and general, where it's like you said, I want to do SEO, I want to do PPC, I want to do whatever. The reality is that if you want to be super effective, you need to develop campaigns, and those campaigns should be highly targeted and segmented. And so you shouldn't be doing marketing that is to every audience and every persona that you have. And so we've really taken the concept of, don't be generic, and developed a way for folks to really get that targeted, segmented, purposeful campaign that is actually going to be significantly more effective than any marketing that you're going to do that you leave open and generic, right?
And I think that for anyone that's tuned into any of the previous shows, you'll understand the point that the groundwork that we've laid is what leads us to this point. So to develop, to be effective in running your campaigns, you have to have those foundational pieces there. So we've gotten to that point. And
one thing that I always tell clients and folks is, especially conversion, right? Conversion is one of our key things, is that we want to get people to take action. Anybody in many cases can drive traffic, but it's conversion to me that ends up being the linchpin of getting people to move forward. And the tactic that is really successful in doing that is being hyper focused and segmented on the audience. And the reason that I say that is if you do a widespread, let's say, advertising campaign, and you're driving multiple personas from multiple industries to a single landing page to either do a contact form or whatever it might be, there's a lot of high likeliness that you're not going to have a high conversion rate. But if you say, okay, well, we're going to target CFOs in the manufacturing industry, and you're making that ad hyper targeted to what a pain of a CFO in the manufacturing industry is, and then you create a landing page that talks to the needs of a CFO in the manufacturing industry, and then you create an action that is targeted towards that audience, your conversion rate skyrockets. And so I think that is the missing piece a lot of times, is that, again, back to that idea, folks do a lot of broad marketing and then they wonder why it fails. But the reality is you want to be doing hyper specific marketing to get the most ROI, to be the most effective.
If you're going through the process, what you're talking about is CFOs, their challenges, pain points, needs. We've already defined that. We've also put together value proposition, messaging that should speak to those specific needs. Now it's what's the platform? How do we take that, to those CFOs? So that's the importance of it. I think it is important to get in that, headspace of we have to have a smart strategy for how we're going to execute and get messages out there before you go in and do it. Now we want to go in and let's build out what do campaigns look like, particularly how do we do it in Frictionless. I think that's what we want to dive in and look at here today.
Yeah, let's definitely talk about that. And so Frictionless, we've gone through now, as you've alluded to, filling out information about our vision and core values. More importantly, our personas. Who are we targeting? What are their pains and challenges? And then our value propositions, brand voice, positioning. And we talked last week about how that all drove up to being able to create highly focused, targeted content that our platform takes and creates article ideas from the personas and their specific factors. Well, the other thing that we have is that the platform also creates marketing campaign concepts that are highly targeted. And so if we have personas in there of a CFO at a manufacturing company, it will generate ideas of campaigns that will specifically target that CFO in manufacturing companies. And so we can come into Frictionless and you can see under marketing that we've got campaigns that we already have running, and then we have ideas. And these are ideas that have been generated by the system. And so in our space, for this example account, we're targeting tech companies, we're targeting some ed tech companies, we're targeting marketing managers within those. And so you can see about a campaign idea that's the Future of Education webinar series. Campaign involves a series of webinars featuring thought leaders from the ed tech sector, or trust in tech, building a confidence in ed tech. This campaign would highlight our agency's extensive experience in SaaS and tech. The campaign would include an email series to provide valuable insights into tech trends in education. So you can see that based off of personas that we put in of a marketing manager within ed tech, we are getting these really great, highly specific campaign concepts. And then the next stage is really determining, once we've got some of these ideas, which ones do we want to move forward with. And so I'm just going to kind of pick one here. Let's see. Let's do this Founders Growth Handbook ebook. And so this one is probably we have a target persona of founders within tech companies. So we're going to go ahead and create this one. And so with our system, now what we've done is you can see right away, it says tech founder in ed tech, legal tech, biotech. So this is actually a founder across several tech industries that we're targeting. We've got our idea here. And then Frictionless will first start out with a goal. What we want to do is always start out with, what are we trying to achieve? And so you can see here with a little generation, it says to generate 1,000 downloads of the Founders Growth Handbook, and 150 leads for free consultation within a span of 3 months from the campaign. And I'll admit that feels aggressive, but I like that. I mean, that's what we want to lead into a marketing campaign with, is an aggressive goal. And so the next thing that we can do is actually generate more details about this campaign. And so now our platform is leveraging that target persona in those industries, our idea, our goal, and it's actually going to build out some tactics and some other information that's really valuable. So we can just see here under tactics, create a series of LinkedIn posts promoting the ebook, develop personalized email messages encouraging the download, design Google search ads with the keywords related to the tech startup growth and management, develop Facebook ads targeting groups and pages related, and then launch Twitter ads featuring endorsements from tech industry influencers that have found value in the ebook. So we've developed some really great tactics that are going to help us reach this goal of 1,000 downloads and 150 leads. What we also give is channels. So it kind of re-summarizes, but LinkedIn promoted posts, personal one-on-one emails, Google search, gives us a sense of budgeting at a very high level, which obviously we would have to change and look at over time. And then what I think actually is one of the most important pieces, and I really like how this shows up here, and you'll see it in a second some more, but risks. I think that this is one of the areas that most people don't think of when they're planning, is what is going to cause us to potentially fail in this campaign. And so we can see here risks are low conversion rates due to the lack of interest or perceived value in the ebook. That's a really big one, is that we know if the perceived value isn't there, we're not going to get the conversion rates. Low engagement on social media ads due to poor targeting or ad design. High cost per click on Google search ads due to competitive keywords, and then low open rates on personalized emails due to poor subject lines or timing. So if you're someone that has not even run campaigns, I mean, if you're in marketing, you understand this day in and day out, But for those that might not be, this is an epiphany of these are the things that are going to stop us from being successful. And then once you've done that foundational information, we can actually build a plan. And so it'll build a plan for us. And I think one of the things that we haven't talked about, but is really important, is that there are a lot of platforms out there that will help you execute, send emails, implement ads, whatever. What we've really focused on here is helping you be smarter and create more targeted campaigns, because that's the secret. We talked about it in the beginning that if you're, not creating highly segmented, focused campaigns, you're probably not going to get a really great result from your marketing. And so the whole concept of our campaign planning tool is that it really helps you out with the strategic side of it. What is the targeted campaign? Who is it targeted at? What's our goal? What are the specific tactics? What should we be looking at from a budget standpoint? And then what are risks? And so now you can see that it's generated this plan. And so the first is creating a series of LinkedIn posts. It talks about the metrics that you really want to look at specifically for this tactic, like number of likes and comments, click-through rate. And then it gives you some more tips on how to mitigate risks. So in order to avoid low engagement, we use compelling copy and visuals in our posts. We also tag relevant groups and individuals to increase the reach of our posts. So again, even if you're in marketing or not in marketing, man, does this give you a leg up into thinking about what you need to be doing right. And when you go in to set those ads up, you're instantly going to have in your head, these are the metrics I need to focus on. I need to make sure I'm creating compelling copy. You're already in that mindset rather than launching this campaign and realizing later my copy wasn't compelling. We're already kind of thinking ahead from that standpoint. And then, the great thing within campaigns is you can now generate messages. So part of our campaign were one-to-one emails. So let's give a try at creating some messages for that. So it's going to go out and develop some email messages for us. And these are things that we can actually then save and put back into our messaging library that we can use later on or in other campaigns. From this interface, you can actually add messages from the existing library. And so just to see this example here, subject line, propel your tech startup growth with our free guide. Hello, Joe. As a tech founder, navigating the path to growth could be challenging. We're here to help. Our Founders Growth Handbook is a free handbook, blah, blah, blah. Let us be your part of your success story. And it gave us two concepts here, and we can continue to generate these and get some ideas. But now we've got this email and we're going to add it in here. And now it's part of our campaign and it's going to use that information to help us further. Then you can keep track of notes, if you want to internally kind of understand that. We do have Learn, where this is kind of an interesting piece, is that it is actually going out and grabbing specific education related to this campaign. And so it's just a tool to help you make sure that you're thinking it through and being strategic. And so it's compiling information based on the different channels that we're going to go after and the different personas, just to help give us a leg up and really understand. So you can see here now that I've done that, LinkedIn promoted post. Post should highlight key takeaways from the ebook, emphasizing the value it can provide to tech founders. Best practice, regularly test and tweak post content, visuals, and targeting. One-on-one emails, A/B test different subject lines, email content. So again, the Learn is really about helping us make sure that as we go into executing campaigns, that it's really intelligent. And then just kind of finally, there's this ask questions of my campaign. So I could ask a question like, how long should my ebook be? And so this actually is something that now you can ask some questions just so that you can learn more about your campaign. How long should it be? Length of an ebook can vary depending on content and audience preference. However, for a comprehensive guide like a Founder's Growth Handbook, it should be around 30 to 50 pages. This is long enough to provide valuable and in-depth information, but not too long that it overwhelms busy tech founders. And so we can actually ask questions about this campaign just to get a sense of like what should be done, right? And so in the end, what we end up having is we started with personas that we've got in here, and our system automatically generating really great hyper-targeted segmented campaign ideas. And now we've got a plan that we can go off and start to execute in all those tools out there that make execution easy and have their own AI to help you do better. But we actually have given you the roadmap to think about it successfully and to avoid the risks that are going to make the campaign fail. And so this is a really powerful tool for anybody that's already in marketing, or if you're a non-marketer, to really start thinking like a marketer, even though you don't have the background.
And I will throw in there the aspect of risks and how that's added into here. I think is one of the strongest pieces in here, simply because marketing and advertising is all built on testing, right? And so out of the gate, you have some cautionary notices of what you should be looking at, headlines, visuals, whatever it is. Low engagement, you have things that to look out for from the onset. So even if you are just starting out, that can be super helpful. As you dive into different tactics on channels that you're not as familiar with, it's going to share those things. But that's something that I think, when we put a campaign concept together, we always think it's a good idea when it's our own, right? But to hear those risks, something to stay ahead of is super powerful. But really cool process walking through this. And to your point, Frictionless lays it all out. There's a ton of tools that are out there that can help you, taking this and then putting it out, to the universe, but not much out there that will, from this, comprehensive, foundational kind of strategic standpoint, that will do what we're doing here with Frictionless. So really cool. I think that's it for today. We're going to continue to do these shows, and we'll dive into some other interesting aspects. We've kind of covered most of the main primary features here, but we'll be back next time, dive in with something unique, and hopefully give you guys some really good insights, things that you can take out there and test. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and we will see you next time.
This episode of the Vision Gap Show has been brought to you by Frictionless. Build high-impact strategy at scale. Create your vision, brand position, and go-to-market strategy, all in a collaborative AI-enabled workspace. Visit frictionlesshq.com to create your free account today.